In this video, we're going to go over the installation of our 280ZX aluminum front bumper. Many people don't like the aesthetics of the large 5-mile-an-hour bumpers on the 280ZX, or also known as S130 chassis. And so what we have here is a slim, low-profile bumper that fills underneath the headlights while bringing back the bumper profile so it doesn't extend way out in front of the car. Also, it takes a lot of weight out. This bumper, as it sits here, even with the turn signals, weighs less than 3.5 pounds. And if you've ever pulled the bumpers off of a 280ZX, it gives you an idea of how heavy they are. So we're going to take a closer look at this and the installation. So on this, we've already done a little bit of assembly. And so when you get this out of the box, the turn signals won't be in it. But with the turn signals, you'll get the screw, and there's a nut that goes on the back side. So you'll line those up and tighten those in. These side pieces are also not going to be attached, and they're not tight. So you can see how they're slotted. So the M6 stainless steel button head is pushed through the front. There's a stainless washer on the back, as well as a nut. So just putting those in there and threading them on, so that way it holds it together, but it's not tight, to give you that adjustability. So this is basically what I would call the pre-assembly of it. And then from here, we'll move towards putting it on the car. So because of how lightweight the bumper is, it eliminates the need for the large, heavy bumper brackets, which are normally located in here and extend out. So if those are still on your car, you'd want to remove those. And then this is made to work with the factory air dam, which is what this one is, the steel factory air dam. We have fitted it on one of the fiberglass, more popular fiberglass aftermarket air dams, and it fit up on there. You may require some modification depending on the style of air dam you have. When I say air dam, I'm talking about this, like lower valence air dam. This one, as I had mentioned, is the factory steel one, and that was the design platform we used when we made it. There'll be some pictures on the website that show it with one of the fiberglass ones also, though. So with this, the air dam mounted up, factory locations. We just have new hardware here, but this point you'll leave mounted. And then as you come around the side, normally there's hardware that holds into here, and that's going to be our first attachment point. So we're going to include some new stainless steel button heads, and when we put up the air dam, we're going to attach into here first. We will actually utilize that hole, and then right here, this is a hole that we've drilled into it. So once we put it on, we'll be able to show you how to do that. Okay, so I set the bumper in place and threaded this screw in, and the same thing on the other side. And they're not tight, and you know that hole is slotted, so it lets you slide it in and out. And so you can fine tune it and adjust it into the body line as desired, as well as adjust it in and out for alignment up front. And one of the things that you are going to want to make sure of is when you do this is that you do open and close the hood to ensure that it doesn't catch on here. So you have multiple points of adjustment. Like I showed you back over here, you have those, and as well as slotted holes along the front. And so this can be slid across in and out, and that's going to allow you to move the forward and back, and you can actually change somewhat the curvature of this to actually bring these out and in. So you have multiple points of adjustability. And with just lined up with this one point right here, this will flex up and down. And once you've determined the spacing and the gapping that you like, you know, top and bottom, and again ensuring that it doesn't interfere with the hood, then what you would do is you can use that top hole, and we'll use the supplied, again, M6 button hardware. There's going to be a large washer that goes on the back, because you saw before we put this on how large that hole was. We'll position that in place, and to hold this straight where we want it by those 2 points. Then we're going to tie in the front of this here by tightening these, sliding it, adjusting it, tightening it where we want. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. And then this hole right here, we're going to, once we're sure that everything's where we want it, the hood opens and closes, we're going to actually take a drill bit. I'm using a 7mm. It doesn't have to be exact as long as the M6 fits through there. And basically I'm drilling a hole through there, and then we'll again use the supplied stainless button head with the nut on the back side. And with these 3 points, this really locks this into place. And with it locked into place, it makes the way it wraps around extremely rigid. So I'm going to go ahead and get this adjusted, get the hardware in it, and show you what it looks like. Okay, so we've got it installed. We've got our 3 button heads there all snugged down. Also got us tightened up front. So it's hard to tell how hard I'm pushing on this, but I mean, you can kind of see the car wiggling on the lift. The whole car is moving. So it just kind of goes to show you how that's mounted there. This will take, you will have to wire in the turn signals if you choose. There is an option where you can get these without the cutout, but you will have to wire those in. They are LED, so you might need to get a resistor depending on the blink speed that you want. But yeah, so I adjusted this, open and close the hood. It's really close because that's just the way I like the look, but the front of the hood doesn't hit in here when I open and close it. Come around the other side and gets you a couple good angles of what we're doing. This front edge carries down through these strakes, canards, whatever you want to call them. And then it's not on here yet, but on this particular car, we're going to tie in our new grill back and our front lip. So this aluminum front bumper is available for the 280ZX on Skillard.com.